Good morning, children. Class 11th, Part 3, Formulas of Limits. Let us discuss few trigonometric formulas and other formulas based on limits. Number 1 is, when limit x tends to 0, sin x equal to 0, means when we are taking x as 0, sin 0 is 0. Here, limit x tends to 0, cos x is 1, cos 0 is 1. Limit x tends to 0, tan x is 0, tan 0 is 0. Here, limit x tends to 0, sin x upon x is 1, because when we will apply x as 0, it will become 0 by 0 form, which is not defined form. That's why we have to use expansion of sin x. And by applying the expansion of sin x, you will find out x common, and then by applying the limit, we will get 1. Similarly, tan x upon x when x tends to 0 is 1. Limit x tends to 0, log of 1 plus x upon x is 1. Limit x tends to 0, e power x minus 1 upon x is 1. And limit x tends to 0, a power x minus 1 upon x is log a. These are all infinite series, log, e power x and a power x. These are all infinite series and their limit is 1 by applying in this way. What is the use of them? Let's learn this. Question based on these formulas. Number 1 is, limit x tends to 0, sin ax upon bx. You can see b we can take it like this. B we can separate with it, and sin ax upon x is left. Here angle is ax. That's why in the denominator ax is required. That's why we are multiplying and dividing by a. And this a is out from the limit. A upon b is left. And here what we are doing, we are changing the limit also. As x tends to 0, we are multiplying both the sides by a. It will become ax tends to 0 into a, that is 0. And applying this formula, limit x tends to 0, sin x upon x is 1. In this case, we have to learn sin x, and this x should be same, and x tends to 0. Then its limit is 1. Therefore, what we are doing the same. It is sin ax. You can see sin ax, this ax, and this ax tends to 0. That's why its limit is 1. And what is left? A by b. Into 1 is a by b. Means limit of this function is a by b. Similarly, next question is, limit x tends to 0, sin ax upon sin bx. Here we are doing dividing numerator and denominator by x, and then applying the same method as there is required ax. That's why we are multiplying and dividing by a. And similarly here it is required b. That's why we are multiplying and dividing by b. And then this a is out from the limit, you can see, and this a, denominator a, is multiplied with this x, and similarly this b is out from the limit and this bx is multiplied, and then after applying this we are getting here 1, here 1, therefore a by b is left. The limit of this function is a by b. And next is, limit x tends to 0, 1 minus cos 2x upon x square. Here we are applying formula of 1 minus cos 2x, which is 2 sin square x upon x square is as it is. This 2 is out from the limit, and square we are taking common. Limit we are taking inside. Limit x tends to 0, sin x upon x is 1. 1 square is 1. 1 into 2 is 2. Limit of this function is 2. Now next is, limit x tends to 0, 1 minus cos 2x upon x. Again we are applying the same formula. 1 minus 2x is 2 sin square x upon x as it is. 2 is out from the limit, and limit we are taking with sin square x upon x. Here sin square x, we are writing sin x twice, and upon x, x is once. That's why we are taking with only one part of it. This limit is 1, this limit is 0, 0, 1, and 2. By multiplying all of them, we are getting 0. This function's limit is 0. Now next is, you can see here, this is limit x tends to pi by 2, cos x upon x minus pi by 2. Here what we are doing, limit is not tends to 0, that's why we are changing this, and we are taking x minus pi by 2 as y. This pi by 2 is shifted on this side, it will become pi by 2 plus y. Means we are changing the whole function in terms of y. In place of x, we are writing pi by 2 plus y, and in place of it y. And here what is given to you? X tends to pi by 2, and x is pi by 2 plus y. So pi by 2 plus y tends to pi by 2. Pi by 2 cancel. What is left? Y tends to 0. Means limit is y tends to 0. Cos 90 plus theta is minus sine theta. That's why we are writing it minus sine pi and minus sine as it is. By applying this limit is 1. Therefore, its limit is minus 1. Finally, limit of this function is minus 1. Now, next is tan 2x upon x minus pi by 2, where x tends to pi by 2. Same process we are applying here also. X minus pi by 2, we are taking y. Pi by 2 is shifting on this side. It will become pi by 2 plus y. Now, let's change the function. In place of x, we are writing pi by 2 plus y. And here we are taking it as the denominator y. Now, let us change the limit according to the same process. And we are getting this limit y tends to 0. 2 से multiply करेंगे, multiply with 2. If we are getting 10 pi plus 2y, 10 180 plus theta is 10 theta. 10 2y upon y we are getting. Here we have to multiply by divided by 2 because angle should be same with the denominator. That's why we are multiplying and dividing by 2. It will become 10 2y upon 2y, and similarly we are changing the limit also. Multiply both the parts by 2, and we are getting its limit is 1. Therefore 1 into 2 is 2. Limit of this function is 2. Now next is limit x tends to pi. Sine of pi minus x upon pi into pi minus x. Again pi minus x is y, and then we are taking y here and x there. Therefore pi minus y will become x. Now let us change the function. It will become sine y upon pi into y, and we are changing the limit also as x tends to pi given to you. In place of x we are writing pi minus y. Pi minus y tends to pi. Pi cancel. Minus y tends to 0. Minus से multiply कर देंगे दोनों तरफ. It will become y tends to 0. Means limit is changed. Limit y tends to 0, and pi we are taking out from the limit, and therefore by applying this limit it will become 1. Therefore 1 upon pi is limit of this function. In this way we are applying these formulas. Now let's see the next one. Limit x tends to 0, sine 11x upon 7x. Again 7 is out from the limit, and here sine 11x upon x is left. 11 is required here, that's why we are multiplying dividing by 11, and therefore it will become sine 11x upon 11x, and this 11 is from the out from the limit. 11 by 7 as it is, and limit we are changing, multiplying both the sides by 11 we are getting it, and its limit is 1, and therefore limit of this function is 11 upon 7. Limit x tends to 0, sine 4x upon tan 3x. Divide numerator and denominator by x. After dividing it, we are getting it. Here it is required 4, that's why multiplying divide by 4, and required 3, that's why we are multiplying dividing by 3. And by arrangements, by some arrangements, we are getting here 4 by 3 is out, and sine 4x upon 4x, when 4x tends to 0 is 1, and similarly here it is 1. Therefore, we are getting limit of this function is 4 by 3. So in this way, we are doing all these questions based on trigonometric functions. We will discuss more questions based on limits. Thank you so much, and revise them properly.